live here tonight, the Loose Lug Nuts Racing League Summer Recruitment Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by the fantastic Jeff Wood. How you doing tonight, Jeff?
All right, man. Here at Milwaukee for 105 laps tonight. Loose Lug Nuts Racing. Last of our short tracks here for a little bit on the Thursday side of things. So I don't know. I like this little 1 mile track here. We know quite a bit of history, Matt, between you and me, and all the cool things that have happened with the ownership of this speedway. So don't have to rehash that yet again. But yeah, I'm excited. We got a decent field tonight. A lot of 9 numbers. A lot of veterans out here. So I'm excited to see what comes of this evening.
Yeah, Justin Michael going full-on dirt track into these corners here. Looks like he's done with his qualifying run, giving it a little bit of a burnout there. 4th place, though, so tell you what, Justin Michael, if you're out there watching, maybe save the burnout for when you win the race. It's a good possibility, too. Justin Michael's always fast, no matter what track we come to, but he's been good on the short tracks last season and this season so far. Now, we come to Milwaukee, and what's the number one thing I always like to mention when we come to Milwaukee? Jeff, you've broadcasted with me for a while, so you ought to know this one, if you can guess.
Yeah, I believe someone's last win here.
No, that is Iowa. That's a good
okay.
one. No, it has nothing to do with racing. Is actually.
Oh yeah, the ship.
Yes, I always like to mention. I always like to mention the Edmund Fitzgerald, which was flagged to Milwaukee. One of the most famous Great Lake freighters. So if you're interested in ships and you don't know that ship's story, look it up. If you're interested in history in general, look it up. It's pretty cool, and a little bit of non-racing trivia to go along with the Milwaukee region.
Yeah, I mean, Milwaukee Fairgrounds, if NASCAR was still operating at this track, it would be the oldest NASCAR racing circuit out there. And plus, long history with, being the state fairgrounds and having the Packers here. So all that history rehashed. And watching this board, though, Matt, seeing where guys are falling, looks like we have about 20-plus drivers out here. Only about half of them maybe looking to start with a qualifying time.
Yeah, and, I think that might be a good thing, starting at the back of the field, a track like this. Seeing some familiar faces, Zach McSwain back out on track here. When we used to run a dirt series, he was always a contender to win on dirt. You can go watch some of those races here on ASN, and McSwain was always a fast driver. But on the asphalt side of things, he was good, but never quite got it done. Maybe tonight will be his night. What do you think?
He started, or I think he ended. I'm either started or ended well. I know he finally got a win here on the asphalt side of things, but I was watching him at the Hunt the Front series. If you haven't followed those guys on YouTube, great, guys to watch in the late model here in the South, Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, obviously some into Florida during Winter Nationals, but those guys were putting on a league, and I think he won one race and finished second in another, so congrats to McSwain on that.
Yeah, so McSwain, definitely a good driver, can get it done. Let's see if he gets it done tonight. Starting lineup, courtesy of Jeff Wood, coming your way in just a moment.
Yep, here we go, down to it. Let's get at it. Ken Richardson, fast time. He is good at this track. I know he burns off tires a lot, but Ken could possibly throw out a curveball tonight. 30.083 fast time. Second fastest, Aaron Bennett, outside pole, 31.988. That's a 10th off Ken Richardson's time. That's a fast time for old Ken Richardson. Kyle Chadwick's third, Justin Michael fourth, John Held, newcomer to Loose Lug Nuts, fifth, Kevin Winter sixth, Wes Holland seventh. Wow, those two guys are together. What a surprise. Brandon Murray eighth, Scott Patton ninth, Zach McSwain 10th, Michael Jeans 11th, Judd Danielson 12th, James Nunn finally learned his name this past weekend. James Nunn 13th, Anthony Giuliano 14th, Trent Drum 15th, 16th is Ray Richard, last of the qualifiers, non-qualifier 17th, Josh Coley, Greg Mull 18th, 19th, Jeff Gilmore 20th, Sean Doerr, Thomas Cristiano 21st, those two, Doerr and Cristiano, Old School Motorsports, Wally Tierheimer 22nd, Calvin Miller, I believe this is his second race, he'll start 23rd, Jeffrey Knight 24th, never seen the name before. Welcome to Loose Lugness. Jamie Crandall, 25th. Chris Voiles, 26th. And Kerry Cleaver, shotgun on the field in that 029 with the 27th spot.
Pretty big field here tonight. Should be exciting to see. 105 laps of action. Ken Richardson with the pole. I think that's his first pole of the season then, isn't?
Yeah, he did win 2 weeks ago at Dago, that big old crash at the end, and Ken Richardson sneaks through on the start-finish line. Maybe looking for some positive outcome from that, getting a win here tonight at Milwaukee.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out here. Pace car getting ready to hop down. And there we go, pace car down, green flag in the air, we are racing.
Yep, quick at it here.
Yeah,
Kent
good.
really strong on the inside. Chadwick jumps the second place guy there. 2x2 battles, got to watch the drive off of turn number 2. Don't believe they're shifting through the corners, 3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide racing a little bit further back there, and that is something that's dangerous at Milwaukee because, you know, it's a wide flat track, but it's not a lot of a wide racing groove, and that's where the problem comes into play because when they're 3 wide all hunting for that very bottom spot on the racetrack, that's where the problem comes into play.
Yep, a little bit of door action there for the 2 and 921. But everyone escapes nice. Kevin Winter trails Wes Holland. Ken Richardson still leading this pack. Kyle Chadwick, he's done good on the concrete. Can he transfer that over to the asphalt with a Dover and a Bristol win so far this summer? 88 looking good early on, as is Aaron Bennett in that 945.
Yeah, Aaron Bennett looking good in 3rd place right now as he's trying to get to the back end of Kyle Chadwick. Chadwick started 2nd, is on the back end of Ken Richardson. Do you think Chadwick gets the lead early on tonight?
Well, let's see if old Richardson can find some conservation in those tires. Like I said, Ken's a great racer. We just know that he doesn't conserve tires as well as maybe Justin Michael or Kevin Winter or one of those guys that like to do that. Even Wes Holland can be throwing his hat in there, but I think Ken's got himself a good race. Kyle Chadwick's going to race him clean, and the 1, 2, 3 guys seem to step out and go away. And the 3 conservation guys I just talked about, Justin Michael, Wes Holland, Kevin Winter, are all right behind him. So probably 2 different distinct running formations here early on.
Yeah, they've gone single file pretty quickly at the front of the field. A little bit further back, I think that's Trent Drum looking to the inside of Ray Richer. He'll get to the inside there. Not a hard pass for Trent Drum. Ray looks like he actually stepped aside, maybe letting Trent Drum pass on purpose. What do you think?
Well, if you're not happy with the track, a lot of times I heard some drivers talk early on when temperatures were a lot higher trackside. We were up like close to 120 degrees track. Now it's down below 110, but that acceleration point, if you're not okay with it, what Ray Richard did there is probably the safest thing. He probably wasn't braking what he wanted to in the corner, and accelerating off of those corners can be dangerous sometimes. You don't want someone right next to you.
Yeah, and you look further back as well, you see another few drivers making quick passes. Calvin Miller passed Chris Voiles. Chris Voiles has had an up and down season so far. Aside from that 1 win last season at Talladega, he's been a midfield driver. Do you think we see a breakout performance anytime this season?
I think I won't call it checkers or wreckers for old Chris Voiles because that's not the type of driver he is. But it seems to be that's the outcome. He either finishes towards the top 10 or he's in an incident. And as he tries to make a move, cross over there into the corner, that's a deep dive. 977 shuts the door a little bit. Ooh, this is almost contacted. There it goes.
Yep, that'll be our first caution.
I saw it coming.
And someone blinked out, and Chris Voiles in the process. There goes his motor. Well, you're saying you didn't want to say checkers or wreckers, but the way he was racing there, I don't think you can call it anything else. We're 8 laps into this race, and he's driving it like there's 2 to go.
Yeah, he did throw it under there pretty good. Probably just enough to follow the guy off the corner and make the crossover on the front straightaway, in my opinion. I'm sure the 977 came down a little bit, but both those guys probably at fault there, racing way too hard for under lap 10.
Yep, and what is it, still 11 incidents tonight, I think, is the cap.
Well, no, that's a Sunday deal. We'll still be at 17. Like I said, it is called a recruitment series for a reason. We're still looking for great racing and great racers to go into next winter season. But, yeah.
Yeah, a bit of an interesting situation there. You know, when you think about recruitment series, and I'm not knocking any new drivers, but you usually consider the new drivers being the ones causing the incidents. But in that case, the veteran showing the new drivers how not to run early into a race. Everyone down pit lane. Will be right back on the American Sim Network. Don't go anywhere. Green Flag Racing returns in just a moment. Back live here, Jeff Wood with the green flag.
Yep, 987 on the inside, stays out from pit road. New guy of the league, hope it works out. Root for the best at least. Ken Richardson, fast qualifier on the outside. John Held moved up a couple spots on pit road. Here we go at it again. Pace car down. Waiting to the box. There we go. Green flag showing. Good jump there from Ken Richardson. He's going to have to find the outside. He throws it in deep. Look at that. There's the new tires for Wes Holland, or excuse me, 88 Kyle Chadwick on the outside. That inside line's
three
gonna be
wide.
low.
Three wide now, and they're all getting stacked up behind Jeffrey Knight. He's learning, you know, he's a new driver, and he's learning real quick that he cannot stay out on those old tires, because look at what it's doing. I would not be surprised if we see a caution out of this one, Jeff.
Yep, John Held, Wes Holland make contact. Justin Michael now working the inside of the 987. 987's at least going to the top side now that he has a hold. Aaron Bennett to his door, he's going to fall like a rock.
Yeah, and you can see he's done the right thing there. He's gotten to that top lane. Hopefully he tries to stay there and does not try to race for position and just kind of lets himself settle out wherever he may go. I'll expect probably around 15th place. What do you think?
Yeah, that'll probably be where we find him, at least in my assumption. If you're looking about tire difference, it's about 5 laps before these tires officially wore off and go down to about 85% on the right front. I almost saw him off the wall there. Scott Patton passing Jeffrey Knight. Ken Richardson with a good lead out front.
Yeah, Ken Richardson doing a good job right now. As you can see there, almost a full second. I tell you what, we're early into this race, but if anyone's got this track figured out, it is
Yellow.
Ken Richardson. Yellow flag's out, and it is not Jeffrey Knight that brings it out. It is Sean Dorr. I think he got around all by himself.
Yep, acceleration off the corner. Got some marbles, and around he goes. Minimal nose damage.
I was about to say, he did a good job keeping that truck minimally damaged.
Well, look at him burn when he's pointing towards the top of the speedway. He's desperately trying to keep that thing down there, too. That's a good racer there, Sean Dorr. At least respect-wise there for him on that 65. Keeping that truck away from, the huge group that could have piled into him.
The only thing I think he did wrong there, Jeff, is he had it locked down going sideways hooked it left, and I don't think he needed to do that final hook left. I know why he was doing it, because he's trying to avoid hitting traffic, but I feel like that truck would have just would have kept sliding. I don't think it was at risk of going back up. If he had just held it down, he wouldn't have gone into the wall. It would have been just, 4 fresh tires, and he'd be good to go.
I totally agree, Matt, but he's going to suffer some no's. Here we go. They're going to say Ken Richardson, no, Kyle Chadwick, Team Chevy into the... That's a risky
pit road to fake out too, because you time that wrong, you're going right into that barrier.
Yeah, and that barrier is a lot like any of those other iRacing barriers that have barrels there. They're likes sticky. To grab you and it'll stick you there, and you have to reset the whole machine.
Yeah, they don't let go.
Well, here early on, I'm looking for driver to talk with. I think Aaron Bennett is a good one. Let's bring up Aaron Bennett, that 945, and see what he has to say. You got a copy, sir?
Yeah, I do. What's going on?
All right, well, second place start, running third, possibly a little bit higher at the moment. How you feeling tonight about this track? It looks like you're running well, have a top 5 machine early on.
No, yeah, I think I'm going to do good here once we get a long green flag run going, so I'm waiting for it. Just got to get through the cautions.
Yeah, cautions come from the back end of the speedway. Good racing up front. Ken seems to have a fast machine. No tire call from most of the field. Almost went in. What's your thoughts on that?
I just want track position. I don't want to be stuck back in the back. I mean, I could probably make my way up through there, but I'd rather just stay right here and get in the rhythm.
Well, looking for another BM, possibly a win for yourself, Aaron. Good luck tonight, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, and Ken Richardson still holding on to that race lead. I think if Ken Richardson's going to win a race this season, I got a slight feeling tonight might just be his night. What do you think?
Yeah, I said he was really good. I'm always concerned about the 16's tire fall off compared to his other fast competitors, because Ken does run a fast machine, but he looks really solid here tonight. And every time we come to Milwaukee or New Hampshire, he looks this way. It might be his night yet again. He might like this win better than Talladega, because he semi-lucked into it, which is a Talladega win no matter what, but he would feel really good about 105 laps here tonight at Milwaukee.
Yeah, and right here, 19 laps in. The question is on fuel, how far can they go? Do you think they can go the rest of the way?
70% fuel load as usual, Matt. I think if we get to about lap 35, maybe 40, we'll be good to go. They still probably not in that range of good to go.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one, but it'll be interesting to see how these guys play the fuel strategy game here tonight.
Yep, actually came into a factor at Dover last week, Matt. So we don't know how the race is going to go. 2 cautions in. Like to see some green flag racing, obviously, to get us to that point.
Yeah, and if they go green, this is about a mile-long racetrack. They'll knock out the rest of this race pretty quickly. It's only 86 laps left.
10-4 on that. Here we go. Pace car looking down. Ken Richardson going to have quick to the green. There he is. The box is really right there once the pace car dives. Ken Richardson, smooth sailing up front.
Yeah, pretty good restart there for Ken Richardson. He got out and away brilliantly, already a truck length ahead of the 87 of Justin Michael.
Yeah, well, the old shark is back there, and he's on a win streak, 2-race win streak already. Got to slow down the 87 by just pure beating him. Ken Richardson looking to do that tonight. Looks like Kevin Winter back to 4th, Scott Patton up to 5th.
Well, like I said, I think Ken Richardson's got a great chance to win here tonight. It would be very interesting to see, but yeah, Justin Michael going to be a hard driver to dethrone, and he's already up to 2nd. It hasn't been a lot of green flag racing, mind you. We'll take a look at that caution rundown, and we've had 8 out of 22 laps under caution, almost half the race, as we have yet another one coming out. It looks like maybe Wes Holland.
Yep, gonna have to look at this.
That was all by himself.
Around.
He was basically drifting it into the corner. Oh, he came down on that Kenwood truck, and I'm not sure who was piloting that machine.
4 wide in the corner, and he just says, I'm going to take it to the top. Looks like Chadwick and 73 there were battling out. West did that just to avoid, and when he was coming back down, like he said.
Yeah, right into whoever has that Kenwood machine.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't see the number from the angle. He was trying to avoid. He didn't mean to door that guy, but
yeah,
he did everything possible to avoid a wreck there.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that, definitely wasn't intentional, but just very unfortunate for Wes Holland there getting into the side of that guy. And luckily for him and the driver of that truck, both guys escaped with minimal damage. Holland only a little bit on the left side, and that truck will be good to go if, 4 fresh tires. It's not an aero-dependent track. But I tell you what, I hope some of these guys are watching, because they have got to just calm down and get some laps in. I mean, we don't need to be going 4 wide into these corners. It's Milwaukee, not Talladega.
Yeah, I agree totally, Matt.
And
taking a second look myself to see what's going on up there, and they're talking about spotters on the race chat, so I imagine that conversation's going pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, you can see there, West did not have a live spotter, because if you had a live spotter there, they would have definitely been able to warn him about that situation brewing.
Yeah, I think he uses a secondary spotter. I'm gonna bring up the 980 of John Held if I can find him. First time I'm gonna talk to him ever. John Held, you got a copy, sir? John Held.
Yeah, I gotcha.
There you go. All right, man. Well, first time I'm seeing your name up here. Looks like you got a strong truck. It looks like you're taking it easy, too. Do you think you can get that old Toyota machine a few more spots up, maybe race for the lead?
Oh, maybe. A lot of these guys are pretty aggressive on the start, so I just roll out of it, let them go up, and yeah, I'm taking it pretty easy right now. If we get a long run, you're going to need your tires, so we're just seeing how it plays out.
Well, yeah, I'm glad I'm kind of guessing that right. Like I said, I don't know enough about you to tell these people out here about your driving style, but it seems like a little bit cautious here, so I don't know, man. You think what's the look here? At least looking for a 50-lap run, 60-lap run for yourself to show your domination?
Oh, I don't know about domination, but I'd like to get a few laps under our belts here. Save the aggressive stuff for a little bit later. We got to get through, we're only 25 laps into it. So we need some more laps before we get it pretty aggressive.
All right, John. Well, thanks for coming up. Glad to see you over here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing. So we'll hopefully maybe talk to you at the podium at the end of the night.
That'd be awesome, guys. Thanks for having me. Fun league. Thank you.
So we are 1 to go here. Jeff Wood will get us with the green. 26 out of 105 laps in here tonight.
Yep, just like John said, they need to get some green flags, and Matt's mentioned it too, haven't you, Matt?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you know, these guys are running like it's the final 5 laps at Talladega or, you know, Auto Club where you have all that room. And, you know, I said it at the beginning of the race here. This is a 1-lane racetrack, but it's a wide 1-lane racetrack, and it's very deceptive.
Maybe a little blink there from Justin Michael. Wow. All right, well, we'll see what Ken does. I imagine I can guess what he's going to do. He's going to watch for that pace car to drop, and right before the box is going to hit the loud pedal. Here we go at it. Pace car down. Ken at it. Yep. How about that? Easy to guess that restart. Ken Richardson out to the good side early on. Here comes Aaron Bennett trying to get with Justin Michael. Quick to the caution.
Yep.
Well, geesh, not quite sure what happened there.
I think Trent Drum happened.
Yeah, stack up on the restart for sure. Different acceleration points.
Well, Jeremy Crandell actually looks like Crandell changed lanes, maybe? No, he was on the bottom. He just did not get going. Got tagged by Judd Danielson. Ray Richard checks up. Trent Drum checks into him, and well, the accordion expanded, the accordion closed, and Trent Drum was in the middle of that accordion.
That looks like I wouldn't say sounds like, but it looks like a 4th gear restart, like someone didn't get it shifted down. And that stinks because, yeah, those guys had nowhere to go on that acceleration. It was already slow enough.
Yeah, I don't even know about 4th gear restart. I want to say he might have potentially even spun his tires.
Maybe. I don't know. Trent Drum paid the biggest price, but I'm sure there's damage on that 85, 73, and 44 now.
His RPM was... Oh, no, you're right. He was not in gear, because you watch here, Jeff, and we're in car with him. Watch right here. There's the contact. And he clicks up the gear.
Wow.
So there
so
you go.
He was what, third gear restart for him?
I believe probably a 3rd gear restart would be my guess.
And you don't want to do those things unless you're like on the outside or you're really far back, like last car in line.
Or you tell him. Or you know, say, hey, I'm starting in 3rd gear, which... You know, he probably was in 3rd gear to save fuel, didn't realize it until he went to step on the pedal and was like, wait a minute, there's no throttle here.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say it, I think everyone's done it. I've definitely done it before. I did a Daytona race once in 4th gear, went to step on the gas, and, well, there was none, and that did not end well, I can tell you that much.
Now you try to shift down real quick below the motor and cause a big wreck.
Well, it didn't even get to me shifting down. It just got to the guy behind me going, right into the back end of my car, and, well, there went half the field.
Oh, well, that's about what happened. If we were at Daytona, those speeds pick up a lot faster than this setup does here in the truck. So I just can't. It's just one of those things. Like you say, you got to call that out. Like, hey, I'm starting in 3rd. I'm doing something crazy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't think he knew he was starting in 3rd. He probably put it there under caution to save a little on fuel, let the motor spin lower RPMs while pacing and just, set it and forget it. And, well, he forgot it.
I typically do that in 4th gear. I don't know. That's the old school racer in me and iRacing. Just let it go through 4th gear, and then at, turn 3, it used to be 1 to go, but I started remembering turn 3, shift down to 2nd real quick, and
yeah, that's how I always do it. I don't know if it actually saves me a lot of fuel or not, but I still do that. I'll run 4th gear up until about the back stretch is when I always do it.
Yep. So I don't know. I think it used to save fuel, but I think maybe the simulation has changed around, and that's one of those good things to talk about too. You just got to remember to shift to the appropriate gear. I've done it too, man. It stinks, and Trent Drum went around for it. Probably the reason the yellow is out, but the real reason right there is the 73. improper
yep.
gear start.
Yeah, and here's the thing, whether or not it saves fuel, I've been, like you said, it's old iRacing trick. It makes me feel like I'm saving fuel. So whether or not it actually does, I'm still going to keep doing it.
Well, yeah, under slow speeds, you're not running that back up on high RPM, so technically, you would assume.
In theory, it should. But whether or not they simulate it,
Yeah, exactly. You could be
Just-
draining more fuel.
Just like until we got the dynamic track, they didn't simulate tire build. Something with the tires where the tires got scuffed up. You still scrub the tires every once in a while, but now that actually makes a difference, and it has made a difference since about 2015.
Yep. Good old history lesson right there, folks. And drivers listening, I see Mr. Holland out there also on the YouTube chat. So, Mr. Holland, hopefully Wes gets back up there.
Before we go green, here's a throwback for you. Do you remember when they introduced iRacing 2.0? Now we're throwing it way back.
That was back in the days of panic flipping on the front straightaway starting at Charlotte. But that's a whole different conversation. Let's get back at it. Pace car's going to drop. Ken Richardson's race to control here and possibly lose because he's out front, dominating the early caution portion of this race. Green flag, back at it. Ken Richardson, semi-good start. Well, actually a really good start because he could get to the high side.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Ken Richardson. Were you expecting a bad start?
No, he's doing really well. I like it. He's doing well off the corners. That 16 looks nice. It's the rest of the field behind him that has to play better in the sandbox.
And right now, Ken Richardson pulling away, trying to pull away from Justin Michael. I tell you what, Justin Michael runs second for long enough. He'll start picking up on some of those tricks, I think.
Yeah, Justin Michael's still going to run his race. You just don't want to put the 87 to a spot that, I don't think Justin Michael likes to run it that way, where he's put to the spot of needing to get that position of that lap. I'm not saying he can't do it, but that's just not the 87 style. The 16 looks real good. 945 looks good. Kevin Winter staying up there, staying clean. Looked like the 945 almost off the wall.
Yeah, 35 out of 105 laps complete. So we are getting on in this race. And, I think now they'll pit one more time. I think they might be good to the end.
Yep, I think we're still under a possibility of needing to pit. Miss Michelle out there saying hi on the YouTube chat. Ken Richardson opening the door there, the 87. Oh, Ken maybe off the wall a little bit, almost there. Different line. He's starting to sweat. I would be sweating seeing the 87 511 tactical machine in my rearview mirror.
Yeah, well, anytime that car is behind you, you know he's coming for the position, and there's a good chance he'll actually take it. It may not be a black number 3, but it's probably a similar feeling to when, for these, like that for these drivers, because you know how good Justin Michael is. There's hardly a race where he doesn't lead any laps.
Yeah, well, right now he's trying to get to it. He missed that turn 4 exit, so we'll get back at it with these leaders. I'm trying to go through this field and maybe find some battles. Is that position number 7, John Held, Kyle Chadwick? No, just right behind him, Anthony Giuliano, Greg Mall.
Yeah, and I think that 906 Greg Mall's going to get that one pretty quickly, and he does. Brandon Hunter Murray, 13th place, gains a spot on Jeremy Crandall.
Yep, 73 probably running with a little bit of spoiler damage, I imagine, from that last restart caution. And Brandon in that 2 Drive Diabetes awareness machine is looking like he's trying to get towards the top 10, figure out his truck the rest of the way.
Yeah, and right now, the million-dollar question is, how bad do you think that wreck affected Jeremy Crandall? I don't think it affected him too badly, because I don't think aero's a big factor here. What say you?
Well, Jeremy Crandall, was probably the least affected by it. Like I said, if we're looking at damage, you don't want nose damage here on anything that can affect horsepower or the radiator itself that's a little bit further in from these nose. I don't got a lot of reach between those. You can sustain some damage and not damage speed, but it doesn't. There's like a minimal factor in between there of that possibly happening. So avoid nose damage.
And right now, 41 out of 105. Well, 41 at the stripe. I was over counting. Back to the battle for the lead, Justin Michael. He's closing in once again. I almost calling you Jacob there, Jeff. Well, to be fair, I broadcast with him almost every night of the week.
Yep. Well, that's to me. The 16 has a better run off through the corners. We're on a decent. I'm not going to say we're on a long stretch of green flag running here. So now I'm worried about the 16. We see the 16 escape. Here goes Aaron Bennett looking for a move. Justin Michael says no.
Yeah, we haven't talked about Aaron Bennett a lot tonight, perhaps because he's one of the new guys. But I tell you what, Jeff, he has not left third place pretty much all night. He's been consistent, and not only has he been consistent, he has been consistently fast, too.
He's probably just as fast as his buddy right there in that 87. 87 using a lot of the track there. Aaron Bennett following just behind him. I don't know. We interviewed him on, and I called him a top 5 machine. I think all the top 5 machines, save for maybe one that was involved in a caution, that number 4 truck being, it could be up there if he'd had no damage. But the guy I'd be really worried about would be the 78 right now, Kevin Winter. He is lurking hard, just like the 87. We called him out a few laps ago, being that shark. 78 Kevin Winter looks like he has a little bit left in that truck on this run.
Yeah, that is for sure. Kevin Winter looking fast. Look at Scott Patton. And, Scott's a little bit further back there, 5th place. I'll give you that. But one thing I want to make mention of, he's been a fast driver this season. He has been a winning driver this season. And as I say that, there we go. There's Aaron Bennett.
Kevin Winter wanted that spot too, but had to settle. Here goes Kevin Winter. Justin Michael shuts the door on it. Boy, oh boy, what a race there for second and third. And the benefactor there is that 16 machine of Ken Richardson.
Yeah, that is for sure. Look at Ken Richardson still holding on to the lead. Look at Kevin Winter. Dived it in a little. Well, I wouldn't even say dived it in, but he peaked under Justin Michael. He was, you know what I like to say? I call it window shopping. He's looking. He's feeling it out. He's seeing if it fits him.
You got to window shop. You got to peek. You got to show the nose. Because maybe that guy doesn't want to shut the door one corner and leaves that line open, and that's where you got to take it. So Kevin Winter, as long as he respectfully window shops and doesn't, throw his hand in the cookie jar. As long as he doesn't break the window. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I think that's a good race right there. Kyle Chadwick up to 5th. You mentioned Scott Patton. He did win last week at Dover, but 2 unsuccessful races on Saturday and Sunday for that 921 machine. He's looking to rebound with just a finish.
Hey, everyone has a bad race every now and then. Maybe tonight rebounds it. I tell you what, he's got the speed to do it if he continues moving up through the field. Right behind Kyle Chadwick right there, 6th place. Zach McSwain, another driver doing real well. We haven't seen him on track. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we haven't seen him on track in a while. But whenever he comes out, he's always a top 10 driver. Right now, 7th place, pretty much right where he should be, in my opinion. Not that I don't think he, let me rephrase that. Not that I think he shouldn't be at the front of the field. But where he always runs, this is about where it is. He's always around the top 10. This is consistent for the 091. I'd be happy if I was him.
Oh, yeah. No reason to push the deal there for Zach McSwain. Obviously, first race back here at Lugnuts on the asphalt in a long while. So, good solid run.
And he's still got 58 laps to go, and in all likelihood, if they stay green, knock on wood, pray to whatever higher power you believe in, one more pit stop, so he's got a lot of time to make something happen.
Battle brewing back here for 12th. Here comes a pass. Wes Holland, Anthony Giuliano. Both cars a little bit bent.
Yeah, but look at Wes Holland. Got to give him props. That car is bent in the front, the back, and the side. Looks like he threw it through the paper shredder. He is making the moves on that thing.
Yep, trying to get back towards the top 10. Looks to have the speed. Like I said, not so much needed aerodynamically wise. You do need some, obviously, but still a lot of speed left in that 4 after making the pass on 9:52. Looking to hunt down James Dunn next.
I'd be very impressed to see Wes Holland win this race. I don't know if that's possible simply because of the damage, but I would absolutely love to see that happen.
Well, a little bit of work time, I think, would help it. We don't need to see another one of those flags, but I'm sure he would like the work time. And I don't know. Right now, he's sitting well enough. I think giving up track position in the second half of this race won't be a benefit to him. Almost off the wall there.
Yeah, look at that 952. Anthony Giuliano side by side. I think that's Brandon Murray he was racing around. Or no, Josh Cully,
No,
rather.
Josh Cully.
Similar
Josh.
looking trucks.
Yeah, that 913 podiumed back at, I believe, Talladega on the Cup side. Looking for the move now on the 952. 913 gets the bottom.
Yep, good pass there by Josh Cully.
Oh, 952 has to watch it almost off those rumble strips. Yes, there are rumble strips because technically this track converts into, I believe, a road course.
I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it does.
That might be
does
New
it?
Hampshire. I'm thinking.
Yeah,
New Hampshire.
that's New Hampshire. New Hampshire does have road course configuration, which is pretty cool, by the way. I've never raced it, but I have. I think I broadcasted a race with it once, a long time ago. Very fun configuration.
Oh yeah.
Very fun. You know what track I'd like to see have a road course? It reminds me of something that would be in NASCAR Thunder games, if you remember those games from EA. Martinsville. It would be
Sure.
It would be hard. They'd have to build out of the racetrack. I don't even think it would be possible because of the railroad being there. But you can't tell me a Martinsville road course wouldn't be cool.
Yeah, a Legend setup or a smaller vehicle setup, sure.
Yeah, there you go. Someone
Well,
with a
back to
lot
the
of money,
front
get
here.
on it.
Yeah, someone with a lot of money, please do get on it. 16 machine still leading this race. Well, when I'm off here, Matt. I called him for probably burning up the tires, but what a race here for the 16. I don't think he's yielded position number 1 all evening.
No, he has. There's been about 4 laps or 3 laps he hasn't led yet.
Yes, that's right. We had Jeffrey Knight, who's all the way back to 20th. Last car on the lead lap. He took a couple laps out front.
Yeah, he only led that because of the caution there. And you know what? Here's the thing for Jeffrey Knight. New driver, okay, granted it wasn't the smartest thing to do, but I don't think it was the worst thing to do because here's the thing. He got a little bit of experience mixing it up with the fast drivers, and that's a good thing to have, you know?
Yep. Just sometimes scary.
Yeah, well, I will agree that, like I said, it wasn't the smartest thing to do, but it's not the worst thing he could do because sometimes it is good to get that experience with the faster guys and the good drivers out there.
Battle for 4th here, Matt.
Yeah, Kyle Chadwick has been looking pretty impressive, slowly working his way back up to the field. Justin Michaels, Scott Patton. Like I said, Scott Patton, he's got a shot here tonight.
Yep.
Just got to make something of it.
Gonna pass this, buddy. I'm worried that 87 finally burned off tires or is an ultra conservative race here for him. 921, Scott Patton, teammate there, gets past him.
Yep. And, I think, Patton, you said he's had the 2 bad races. I think that streak is over.
Yeah, as long as he can
I
finish
just
this one
got a
out
hunch.
here. Oh, yeah. He's doing real well. I don't know if he's a winning machine just yet, but he's obviously going forward on the side of the number.
Yeah, right now, 57 out of 105 laps in. Under 50 laps to go. Kyle Chadwick, the only driver in the top 5 that is pitted more than once. I tell you what, that might be a race-winning strategy for Kyle Chadwick.
Who knows? I would have to agree with you. We got a little bit. Mr. Holland's out there talking about Wes's fuel, but both Chadwick and Wes hit it at the same time, if we remember correctly. So that's a good possibility. Miss Tierheimer out there rooting on Wally. Wally is in the 75 and running 1 lap down in 20 seconds.
Yeah, he got to get by Ray Richard to get that lap back, and that might be hard. Ray's a little bit further ahead of him, coming onto the front stretch. Wally's about halfway through turn 3 right now.
Yeah, so Wally has in front of him, and the last half of this race has been spectacular green flag racing. Unfortunately for those guys, 1 lap down. We all like green flag racing, except when you're looking for a lucky dog.
Yeah, that is for sure. Personally, I would like to see this race stay green because, I mean, they are putting on a great show right now. I just don't want to see that end.
Yep. Second place battle coming up here. I think Kyle Chadwick has hunted down Aaron Bennett. Might be showing the nose in the next corner.
Yeah, Chadwick's got fresher tires, more gas. He's got everything going for him, but I know how he can race sometimes. Chadwick, if you're listening to this, please keep it clean.
There's the nose.
Yep.
Aaron Chadwick shortens it. Aaron
Oh,
Bennett
he got in there
leaves
deep.
a little bit open.
If Bennett knows what's good for him, he's going to leave that door open for Kyle Chadwick because I tell you what, if he closes it, Chadwick's going to open it, and he's going to open it with an axe.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, though. Aaron Bennett made him run for it, which is good. Unfortunately for Aaron Bennett,
He's
he
going to lose
is
2
going
spots in
to
that
lose
deal.
an extra spot. Yeah.
Well, again, you know what? He's a new driver. He's learning. What better way to learn than racing against, one of the best drivers in this league, and next to Kevin Winter, probably one of the most aggressive drivers in this league.
Yeah. Kyle Chadwick up to second, battling through the field with that
Tell
pitting
you what.
strategy, and we're at least speculating enough that, we think the 88 can get to the end.
Yeah, I think that second pit stop is going to be what wins him the race if they stay green. Again, knock on wood, pray to whatever higher power you believe in. But, yeah, if they go green to the end, I don't see Ken Richardson making it to the end because guess what? Kevin Winter's coming out of pit lane. But Kyle Chadwick, 2 pit stops, that might be a race-winning call.
And I think it was a Kevin Winter or Michael Jeans maybe. One of those guys were coming off of pit road. I'm not quite sure. There might be some pitting going on. I saw some stats. Yeah, Justin Michael into the pits, 87 there. See if anyone else goes with them. .913 Josh Coley in the pits. Not a bad idea to follow one of the fast guys. Kevin Winter, I'm for sure, has already been, Matt.
Yeah, I think so. And, well, yeah, Winter was coming out of the pits just a lap ago.
Pass for the lead.
New
Wow.
leader.
I missed that. I was looking through the field. And a legitimate pass for the lead. Ken Richardson just leaves the door open. Kyle Chadwick goes and takes it away.
And like I said, Chadwick, if he can go to the end, it's a good question. Kevin Winter going, you see the way he went right in front of Ken Richardson.
Yeah, he's got the tires. Ken Richardson, Kevin Winter calls it out, saying, I got fast tires. I got fast tires right now. Ken Richardson to the pits with Wally Tierheimer.
Yep. Now the question is, do you think Chadwick's going to try and push it to the end here? 40 more laps.
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not sure. He's going to have a 3/4 lead on some of these guys when it's all said and done. As long as it's greater than probably 20 seconds, I think he could coast to the win.
Well, that is true. But tires are going to be a factor, don't forget, and he'll be on old tires.
Well, got to stay with it. I know Mr. Holland called out the Ford machine out there for having good to the green, so could be a lot of guys. I see Aaron Bennett, he's staying out for right now. Michael Jeans, one of those guys.
And Bennett's only had 1 stop, though.
Yeah, well, if the 87's pitting, I'm sure most of those guys that stayed out still need to pit, just like Aaron Bennett.
Yeah, I think Bennett's probably waiting on the one thing that we don't want to see.
Well, it's a relevant strategy here at the short track of Milwaukee.
Oh, without a doubt. Now, here's a question, because I haven't looked at the schedule a lot this season. Are we going to Martinsville this season? I bring
Yes,
this up for one big reason, because
it's later on in the schedule.
It's got to be under the lights. We got to do it under the lights.
We'll try and get it under the lights. I always go and make sure the setups are good right before race time.
I'd like to make one suggestion there, and not to get off topic, but
Chadwick to the pits.
Yes, he is. So he could not go to the end, but he still might be on a winning strategy with, yeah. But here's my idea for Martinsville, because we did this at Kentucky a while ago, and I mean a while ago at this point. But have it start with the transition. So have it start like late evening, kind of transition into darkness. I think that would just be real cool.
We'll see what we can offer. It is one of the last races on the schedule for the summer season.
So Aaron Bennett, he'll come in this lap. We got one really slow truck. That's going to really screw up Bennett's pit entry. And that was the 987 Jeffrey Knight.
It is a tricky pit to get into.
Yeah. I can't say that's Jeffrey's fault there. If anything, Aaron Bennett should have been more aware.
I don't know. That 987 was already down there slow. He was uncomfortable with pit entry, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Bennett would have seen him on the relative screen, saw he was slow, but he kept coming in hot. So
I don't know about that. I think it's a both thing there. Obviously, caution is
there
out.
it is. You knew that was
Judd
coming
Danielson
eventually.
around. Maybe some contact here.
I can't even find Judd on the relative board.
iRacing contact between the 2 and the 85.
There he is.
I'm sure one of them are going to say, you pushed me.
Well, someone's going to be unhappy with someone at the end of it, and you know they always are. Well, it may be net code, but I think they were bound to make contact anyway, because look at Judd slowing up. He probably was going to try and pit there, and Murray just kind of kept it in. Murray kept it in the gas.
Yeah, Murray wasn't even down on the full bottom lane either.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I don't have the chat up, so I don't know if Judd called out his pitting, and that'll be the question.
Well, that's a good thing. I even said, if you're going to make the pass there, Brandon Murray's on the fresher tires. Got to call it out if you're Judd. Got to call it out if you're Brandon. Like, hey, I'm coming up on you. I'm coming up fast, too.
Yeah, it's a bit of, I would call that a racing deal there. So, and update, that Kenwood truck, if you remember that incident all the way earlier in the race with I think it was West Holland, that is Thomas Cristiano, your current race leader.
Yeah. Good for that 060. I think Cristiano is not obviously the fast truck on the field, but if we get another caution, he could find himself with a top 10 finish. I'm interested to see. I think poor old Ken Richardson's getting stuck in a pit cycle trying to match his competitors. And the real winner off of this looks to be Scott Patton.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we will take a very brief break in a moment, or right now, and we'll be right back on ASN. It'll be 30 laps to go when we go green. Jeff Wood calling the green flag.
Yep. Chadwick gets back to the lead. Cristiano just takes it behind the wall, but Aaron Bennett up to second, and James Nunn and Michael Jeans, the surprise guys, 3 and 4 right there. So we'll be back at green flag racing. Hopefully cautions do not breed one upon another, and we get back to that long green flag run. That was an excellent run by our drivers up until the caution came out. Green flag pit stops included.
I hate to sound like Mr. Negativity, but I got a feeling we're going to see at least one yellow out of that. I don't see them going green to the end.
Possibility. Goose Rabat there for our drivers. Here we go. Chadwick back at it. Got a good restart. Let's see how the rest of the field does. Looks like only Chadwick got that great restart, along with Aaron Bennett.
Yeah, Chadwick got a great start there, and, you know, I'm not surprised there. Chadwick's been fast all night, you know?
Yep. Oh, wow. Big old block there from the 4 to the 921. Oh, around goes the 08
Michael
or
Jeans.
the 016. Michael Jeans, caution out. I just caught the tail end of that.
I think, what is that, 3 weeks in a row now he's been in the wrong number?
Something like that.
Because I noticed that on my screen.
Yeah, that's for sure. Number chain is going to come up for him. Officially, he will be the 08, I believe, was the call. But on the track here, between the 951 and James Nunn, probably just drove a little bit deep. Didn't we see this earlier on in the race?
Yes, we did.
Same scenario right here.
And these guys had they had their heads screwed on right for what? Well, how long was that run? What, 40 laps?
40, yeah, 40, 50, somewhere around there. It was
Yeah,
a good run.
They had it right. Don't unscrew it now.
Yeah, James Nunn drives a little bit deep, doesn't get all the way to the bottom. I think that's the main cause of it. But at the same time, the 08 probably didn't get stuff to the outside and came down a lane. So at fault, both of them, in my opinion, 951, 08.
So right now, 78 laps in, under 30 to go. What's your prediction for when we go green?
Well, hopefully they're not going to fight for every little stupid spot. We still got a decent run ahead of us if they want to give it. But it's up to those drivers as always. The competitors and the nature of competition, it could go one way or another. Let's see. We'll bring up a final interview here this evening. If I can find a driver. I don't know. Guy like maybe Greg Mall here getting off of pit road.
Yeah, he'll be back there 18th place.
Yeah, talking with Greg Mall here real quick as he's trying to get out of pit road and whatnot. But what's the call here for the fresh tires? Is it just for the tires to see if you can't march through the field?
We just figured we'd put some fresh tires on it. We had a little bit of damage there. We hit the wall on the exit of 2. I think it was right around lap 55 or lap 60, somewhere around there. So got our damage fixed up and put some tires on while we were at it. And so we'll see here. I guess we got just over 25 to go here when we come to the restart. So we'll see what we got here.
Well, Greg, I know you have been involved in a lot of podiums of lately. What's your style about getting through maybe guys that you've seen would be slower to you? Are you trying to get the spots immediately, or are you trying to work them?
With this track at Milwaukee, with the corners taking some time to get through, it's easy to overshoot the entrance of the corners here. So we're gonna take our time and make it through here, and hopefully we don't have too much of an issue trying to get through here. So we'll see.
All right, Greg. Well, hopefully you crack back into that top 10 and work yourself up further if you can. Good luck with the rest of the evening.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
So drivers getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll have, I'd say 26 to go? Yeah, 26 to go. When we go green, what do you expect to see?
Good restart from the leader and green flag racing. So good mojo. That's what I'm trying to offer at least. James Nunn given the penalty of an EOL for that incident. I believe the 08 Michael Jeans will fall back even further than that, but they'll both be back there in the restart position of 17th, 18th there.
I'll let you get the green once again. Just a handful of laps to go.
No, shaping up to be about the top 5 I thought it was going to be. Ken Richardson still outside the top 5 after his early domination of this race. Chadwick looking for that restart. Aaron Bennett trying to time it well. Here goes the pace car. Down it goes. Chadwick back to the green flag as we hit lap number 81.
So pretty good restart. Oh, a little bit aggressive by Wesley Holland.
Nice to
They
the
still-
door. He got it clean.
They still
Oh,
got 25
crossover.
laps to go here. These guys got to keep it clean now.
Yeah, Scott Patton went for the crossover move there. Wes Holland with damage, no use in fighting that move. See how many positions Wes gives up. Looks like Ken Richardson's to the door, so Wes Holland going to fall back a little bit. Scott Patton once more, so does Ken Richardson.
Side by side for position. Zach McSwain moving his way up.
Yep, he makes a move there. Justin Michael still looking at the back end of the 88. 88's got to run a perfect race. I know that 87 is a scary machine to see in the rearview mirror. Scott Patton up to 4th. Ken Richardson 5th. Aaron Bennett, possibly the solid 3rd place truck all evening.
Yeah, right now Chadwick just having a fantastic run of things. Justin Michael might have a shot at this win right now. Ken Richardson he's in trouble here because he's got a long way to the front of the field and not a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, Ken's feeling that pressure because he's obviously shown the nose a lot more than probably he wants to. Getting bad runs off the corner. Great middle of the corner speed for that 16 machine. Just you got to get right to the bumper and cross them over on the straightaways when you do have that speed. Justin Michael looking up under the 88 now.
Yeah, Justin Michael, Kyle Chadwick. This is a battle we've seen a lot before. Chadwick dived in way deep there to block him. Man, if he does that again, I don't think Michael's going to roll out of it next time.
Not Justin did well here. He can easily cross him over. Maybe the 87 says, fine, I'll wait to the last lap to set you up. 88, that was a aggressive move for sure. But it worked out well, and it takes a great competitor behind him to not turn him either.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Single file action going right here. Got a solid small run in. So these guys are done with a quick aggressive, unless you're Kyle Chadwick up front. Now we're going to see tires start to roll in and play a difference here.
So right there, 20 laps to go. Do you think we go green to the end?
I would love to see it. And we're seeing a great battle, too, with these tires. I don't know if the 88 and the 87 are conserving at all with this hard-fought battle for first place. Aaron Bennett's sitting back there. He's laid off a little bit, looking for his long run now. Scott Patton doing the same. Ken Richardson, a guy that doesn't know anything but go, looks to burn up a little bit.
Yeah, right now, 18 laps to go at the stripe. And looks like Justin Michael, he might be laying low here like you suggested. I think he might wait till the final lap, you know?
Oh, Justin Michael's an avid watcher of all the broadcasts here at Loose Lug Nuts Racing, and I know he likes to listen and take some of the advice on, pit strategy or when other guys are pitting. It's a good way for those drivers who are rewatching this race to get a little bit inside info, even if it's under the delay a little bit. You get some info. So right now, maybe a smart feature here. Oh, wow, 87 threw it deep in the middle of the corner. Late entry there through 3 and 4.
17 laps to go here. Well, who's your pick to win it at this point?
Oh, gosh. It starts with an 8. So I'll say that. It may end with a 7 or another 8. I'm not quite sure. Chadwick messed up the exit there on turn number 2. So 87 is going to be all over the bumper. Here's that crossover. Does he throw it again deep? Yep, 88 does. Says, no, I can't mess up once. You got to make me mess up twice. I guess that's time number 2. I don't know. 87 still playing nice. 88 still has a lot of speed too. It's not like that's a slow maneuver into the corner. 87 now trying to make the 88 switch lines. He swings wide in the middle of the corner. Not gonna have about the same runoff for both of them. They're doing some fancy stuff, but here comes Scott Patton.
Yeah, right now, Kyle Chat. Oh, behind there, you mentioned Scott Patton. I think him and Bennett might have made contact.
Now they're all in the same team speak there, Scott Patton and Aaron Bennett, so they should be able to do that a little bit more effectively than most. Here comes Ken Richardson garnering some speed. Like I said, that battle up front, they're checking the corners, and these guys, 4th, 5th, and 6th, are starting to catch up.
14 laps to go at the stripe. Yeah,
Big run for the 87.
This might turn into a 5-way battle for the lead here in just a little bit.
Yeah, like I said, that 88 and 87, they're definitely not conserving. 92 around the speedway. And it is a hard-fought battle, 1st and 2nd, but these other guys are just laying in wait. Scott Patton really coming on great here at the middle part of this run.
Yeah, right now, 13 more laps to go here. So really just not a lot of racing left, and these guys are all under a blanket, and I think this is going to be, if they stay green, a very, very exciting finish at the front of this field here.
Yep, a little bit of bump out of the corner there from the 87, soft bump, nothing that Chadwick couldn't handle, but I'm worried about that last lap like a lot of viewers should be. They're doing real well, but sometimes you just wonder, oh, Chadwick wide there. Again.
Yeah, Chadwick might have to give that spot, you know.
He's not going to.
If he blocks him anymore, Michael's gonna wreck him. I mean, I'd be getting real tired of it if I was Justin Michael right now.
That's racing up front for sure, but boy, oh boy, that was 3 times. So, I mean, you know that old jail cell picture of the guy tacking up numbers. Justin Michaels scratched 3 times now that Chadwick's thrown that block.
Yeah, and eventually his luck's gonna run out.
Yeah, I mean, nice 3 times. I don't know. Maybe Justin Michael lays a little bit heavier bumper, gets him loose into the corner, or at least middle of the corner. That would be a respectable move, not on exit. Scott Patton looks like he has more speed than both of them combined at the moment. Switching lanes in the middle of the corner.
Yeah,
He's
but
looking
Patton
for an
can't
entry.
get by either of them right now.
Well, here goes Scott Patton. This is only going to help the 88 if Scott Patton forces his teammate to the high side.
Yeah, Patton might get by Justin Michael. That might shake things up just a lot with only 9 laps to go.
Yep, 9:21 now to 2nd place. Justin Michael says, well, if you want to go put the bumper on him, go ahead. But I don't know, teammate right there. I like Scott Patton has more speed than both of them. Here goes Scott Patton. Nope, here comes the block of the 88 again.
Oh, boy. Man, oh, that's not going to end well. And look at that. That stacked everyone up, and everyone behind him made contact. I know why Chadwick's doing it. He wants to win the race, but I don't agree with that strategy.
It's racing at this point, and I don't think anyone can be mad if they eventually make contact with the 88. I know
They're going to make contact.
Well, they're going to make contact. The 88's going to be mad, but we've seen it plain and simple. Yep, here comes the big pass.
Yep, and
Quick
they're going
pass,
to be
Chadwick.
door contact, maybe. You know there's going to be something there.
Well, Chadwick's pushing him down, making sure that he doesn't get the run off the corner. What's going to hurt him, 88 crossover.
Chadwick's going to try to cross it over. Scott Patton puts the block on him. Who could have guessed that?
End of the race here. Well, 87 dives it deep below the rumble. That's going to hurt him. I did think 921 had a lot of speed, and 88 and 87 wore one another out.
Yeah, without a doubt. So 6 laps to go here.
Well, this would be 2 weeks in a row on Thursday night. 945 into the wall right in front of the 16.
So not a lot of racing left. 5 at the stripe here.
And McSwain now mixing it up back there with Aaron Bennett. Oh,
Caution.
Wow, that's going to shake it all up.
We'll go green, we'll go white, and we'll go checkers. Brandon Hunter Murray all by himself.
I don't know about that move.
He was trying to get by Jeremy Crandell, and, well, he forgot that there was a pit barrier.
Yeah.
Can you call that karma for just trying to go full send into the corner?
Yeah. He's definitely faster than the 73.
No doubt.
No doubt. Wait until the exit, maybe, of that corner. I don't know. There's nothing else to say about that. He got the nose clip for it.
Yeah. Well, you know, like I said, maybe a little bit of, you know, trying to go in too deep.
I just think that's unfortunate for our leader there, Scott Patton. I think if I'm the 88, the 87, this is the time to get tires. You don't put fuel on. You grab 2 or 4 is the call. 88 goes. Oh boy, Scott Patton is going to be a sitting duck. There's going to be a second green-white checkered. Let me tell you what. John Held stays out. That's still a bad call, on my opinion. But I think we're going to see a 3-wide sprint for the lead here, turn number 1.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I don't think it's going to end without another caution. We'll be right back to see how that plays out. Well, like I said, we go green, we go white, we go checker, hopefully in that order. I think we're going to have one more wreck. What say you?
Maybe so. Like I said, the 88 really well aligned depending on how John Held gets into the corner to throw it 3 wide. We already saw it once with tire difference. Let's see if we see it again. There goes 921 with a great restart. John Held holds up the outside. Chadwick goes down.
Yeah, good restart for most of that field. Can they get a half a lap in? If they get another half lap and they get the white flag, they can do whatever they want, but they're 3 wide.
5 wide.
Yeah, I don't see this ending well in 3 and 4 here. Oh, West Holland in deep. They might get to the white if they just get to that white flag. Let them get to the flag before. No. Oh, it's not gonna happen. Big crash.
No, white flag.
White
by the
flag.
leader.
Yep. They'll race it out. They got to clear that track though, because I mean they are destroyed on the front straightaway. I mean more cars than I can count there, but I mean Scott Patton's gonna walk off with a win here tonight. What did I tell you, Jeff? He was gonna break his streak.
Yep, there we go. Chadwick with a strong run off of turn 4. Though it's not gonna matter. Good
Scott
solid
Patton.
run there. I don't know. I thought it was going to come further up. Matt, you got a replay on that real quick?
Well, we're gonna get a replay on that. That should have been a caution.
Technically, they'll it happened after the leader started for the start-finish line.
No, it happened. It definitely happened before. Man.
Well, from where iRacing called it.
How many trucks were involved? Jeremy Crandell, Ray Richer, Wes Holland, Wally Tierheimer, looks like Ken Richardson,
Well,
Zach
hopefully they
McSwain.
came back and got the next lap.
Yeah, most of them did. Some of them wrecked off into the pits. One truck was on his lid. It looks like it started there. Well, they were 3 wide with Aaron Bennett, and it looks like a direct result of that is what caused that particular incident.
So I'm guessing 16, the 945, and I believe it was John Held on the 3 wide outside.
Yeah, something to that effect.
That stinks. Ken Richardson had a great race, leading a lot of laps too.
That he did, but let's talk to our race winner. It is the one and only, the man, the myth, and he may even be a legend. It is Scott Patton. Scott, have you got a copy on me?
Yes, sir.
Man, I tell you what, I mean, I thought we were going to have a caution on that final wreck, but you guys raced it out anyway. You know, winning here at Milwaukee, I said at the beginning of the race, I said I think you have a good shot. Well, I said a few people had a good shot, but your name came up a few times. How does it feel to win?
Yeah, I appreciate it. It feels awesome, especially this one. New Hampshire's my home track, so this is obviously the sister track, so race is pretty similar. I just love the flat, slick, driver racing here, so it's awesome race all around. Nice green flag run in the middle there, too.
All right, well, how did that truck handle for you all night, my man?
It was off and on. It took me at least the first half of the race to get a handle on things, to figure out what the guys up front were doing. Justin, Chadwick, Winter, all those guys were at least 2/10. They had a good 2/10 on me in the first half. I was trying to figure things out, and then I played with the downshifting a little bit, got that in line, and kind of were able to keep pace with them, and then play the tire strategy a little bit in the end. I know we got caught up staying out in the last one, but it's kind of one of those situations where, they're all going to do the opposite of whatever I do. So played it out, got a good jump on the start, and here we are.
All right, well, any sponsors you want to make mention of?
Yeah, just a quick shout out to Northeast Motorsports Museum, again, right down the road from New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Appreciate that all that they're doing. They're closed right now, obviously, with everything going on, but if anyone's ever in the area, check them out. It's kind of Dick Bergeron's, Dr. Dick Bergeron's little project there, so appreciate everything that they do, and Abruzzi Wares on the back quarter panel as well.
All right, well, thank you, Dr. Man. Good job on the win.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Next up, Jeff Wood, Kyle Chadwick.
Yep, Kyle Chadwick fought for a long time, throwing them deep a couple times, had some favorable outcomes. Boy, I thought you were looking for an outside run, but the guy in front of you on that green-white checkered restart did not go, and you had to throw it on the inside.
Yeah, I mean, it went as bad as you could have expected there, but I did everything I could.
Not 88 did, and like I said, you were throwing blocks, you were showing speed. I don't think which caution were you more upset about? The one after the long run there, when you're battling out with Justin Michael, or the one before that?
The one after the one where we had the green flag pit stops right after that. Because I pitted a little later than them, so I was hoping
Yeah.
it would come back to me again.
No,
That's
well-
what kind of I had to stay out on that one. That's what put me behind the 8-ball because I had a little bit older tires than these guys for that last run.
We did note that you and the 4 team both pitted when the other guys did not. So we were speculating, you know, if you were under possible for the rest of the run. Obviously, we were wrong, but either way, good finish, good strong run. You got to mix it up throughout the field. So, you know, talking about that, I think you can't be displeased. But go ahead and thank those that you need to for second place.
Just thanks to John and all the admins and broadcast for putting the show on. And I know there was wrecks in the back, but that was a hell of a race.
All right, Chad. Oh, we'll see you Saturday and Sunday, buddy.
All right, thank you.
All right, next up on the interview block, it is third place finisher, Justin Michael. Justin, you had a pretty good shot to win this race here tonight. Unfortunately, just didn't materialize. How does third place feel, though?
Third place is good. I mean, we suck at this track, so I'm not a big fan of flat tracks. Don't run well usually at them, but I don't know what was going on tonight. That setup was really to my liking, and I know we were pushing Chadwick there for a while. I was hoping he'd make a mistake. I think if he would have, we might have been able to pull one off.
Now, how did that truck handle for you for the majority of the race?
I mean, it's pretty tight the whole time. You get a little loose there off the turns in the first 5 or so laps, but after that, it just got real tight.
Any sponsors you want to make mention of?
Yeah, just everybody out there watching. We always, appreciate the fans out there watching, and John for putting on a good leg, and you guys for calling a good race as always, and hopefully we can do it again, what is today, Thursday? Saturday.
All right, well, thank you for talking to us, man, and have a fantastic evening.
Thanks, Matt.